Alright, had problems with the last attempt at the video. My phone died. Here we go though. Fall 20 or spring 2017, my apologies. Backyard tour. Let's do this. So, one of my mystery grapes, it's either a Thompson Seedless or a Red Flame, I forget. When it fruits, we're going to find out. This one never lost all its leaves. You can see some of the old stuff looks bad. But it's starting to bud out now. It's ready to rock and roll. Two different hibiscus. Again. One's doing great, the other one not so well. Like I said, great. Perfect day for the video. Okay. Behind me here, this is a dwarf, quote unquote, mulberry. You notice it's chopped down on the top there several times, and it's still at least 6 feet tall. It's a big guy. Okay, moving over here, this is one that I just planted a few weeks ago. This is an Inca plum. Here we have two Spice Z Nectaplums. These are the experimental one I hacked down knee high like they say to for the low pick, you know, and help it through summer, whatever. The other one I just tip pruned. They get the same sun exposure, and they're in the same soil, literally in the same hole. So let's see what happens there. The other mystery grape, like I said, either Thompson Seedless or Red Flame. I have a feeling this is Red Flame and the other one's Thompson Seedless, but I'm not exactly sure. So there's the mulberry again. Big old giant red castor. This one I've pruned several of the blooms off multiple times, and it just keeps bushing out wider and wider and wider. It's like ridiculous how bushy it is. Okay. Over here, this is all potted apples. So, that one's a Gala. This middle one here is my ghost apple. That one is a yellow delicious spur bearing. So that one should fruit on spurs rather than on tips like a typical, yellow spur they call it. It's a golden delicious spur bearing. My two little grafted ones. 4 grafts on those, 2 on each. 2 more rootstocks that I purchased. These 2 other rootstocks here were ones that I harvested off trees. The smaller one came off of one, I believe this one off this Gala, and the other one here was off of the Beverly Hills out front. Grand Nine banana. Little baby one, I need to pot that up. That is a curry tree in a 5-gallon or 3.5. Let's back up here a little bit, get a wider shot of these bananas. This is my Lacatan banana, planted almost exactly a year ago. Actually, this leaning side over here is the original one that's fruiting now. And this big one was the first pup. Down here is another pup. And if we, hold on, we're going to push our way through here a little bit real quick. And down over here, I just noticed this earlier. You can see a leaf popping out in there. So there's another pup down there. Behind him is my loquat, my Macbeth loquat. We'll go around and check that out here in a minute. We're going to take a detour though and check out this one tree right here that was in my very first video. This is my variegated pink lemon. It's now about 3.5, almost 4 feet tall. It's getting there. It's getting pretty big. The hibiscus I planted with it is getting pretty big as well. Doing alright. A lot better than it looked to begin with. One more of my fig cuttings potted. Passion fruit. That's a purple passion fruit. And bear with me here, it's getting dark. We're going to do the patio real quick before we run out of daylight. So we have here a bunch of mulberry cuttings. These are all dwarf mulberries. And then back in here, a couple little citrus seedlings. Down here, more cool stuff. Mostly mulberry. Most of them are dwarf. I have a couple mulberries, however, that are weeping mulberries, T's weeping mulberries. A couple of blueberry grape cuttings, and a few pomegranates down there. The larger pots with nothing in them yet are castor beans. I'm waiting for them to pop. And here, God, we're really running out of light. Those are bell peppers that I started from seed. Real quick over here, I'm just going to breeze past this. It's getting really dark. But apple seedlings. More. Okay. We're going to zip over here real quick. See if I can come from the other side, maybe. I'm gonna pull, hold on. I'm gonna pull this shade back. Okay, so we're gonna kind of just, yeah, I can't get any light on this. We're gonna skip this. I've got a star fruit in there and a bunch of citrus. It's all potted, but it's too dark to see. And we want to check out the rest of the yard. Back out here where we can see things. Okay, back around, those are the apples we were looking at. So we have one little potted grape cutting there. And then most of the rest of this stuff, or all the rest of this stuff, is stone fruit of one sort or another. I have a pair of apricots there in the Lowe's little fruit deals there. You can see with the tags hanging on them. Another Lowe's tree in the back there. That's a Snow Queen nectarine. This one up here in the front, right here with the tag flipped around, is Peachy Keen Peach. This fixed up guy right here is a Red Baron peach that was severely injured. It had a major injury there, you can kind of see. So I doctored it up and we'll see what happens. That's a Shiro plum in the 7-gallon white pot. Behind that, I believe this first one you're looking at here is Sam Houston peach. This next one here should be Belle of Georgia peach, followed by a Florida King and a Blue Jameson plum. Behind that one is my other Sam Houston that I got last year. It's going to go in the front yard here in the next couple months. Wonderful pomegranate. A couple little random tropical plants that I got for free. That hole right there, it's hard to see anything right now, but it goes up this whole lattice. You can kind of see the vines. So that's my boysenberry. Never lost its leaves, although they do look like fall leaves at this point, but they never fell off. Bear with me here, I'm about to fall down. Okay, tripping over trees. So, this bigger guy right here is a Gordon apple, planted in August. Hollywood plum, right there. So you can see the Lacatan bananas in the background and the shelf that has all my apple seedlings up on my patio there. This one right here with the bag of compost next to it is an apple banana that is severely beaten up from the cold, but it's got a pup popping out next to it. It's doing alright. We're going to back up here a second because we missed something. So in the front yard I had one of these. It's a variegated Cara navel orange. So I've got two of those actually, one in the front, one in the back, because who wouldn't want two of those? Lilies, sugarcane potted up from last weekend from Janine Sander. See how those do. Lemongrass. A little dark to see behind the lemongrass, but tucked in back there I have a citrus rootstock. It was a Satsuma mandarin, the whole entire graft died. But the rootstock's doing great, so I'm leaving it. We're going to graft onto that. Another wonderful pomegranate there. that's can't really see because it's not leafed out yet there, but it's in front of that big castor. That castor has seriously grown 8 feet since I planted it. Like literally that entire thing. It was four inches tall when I planted it, and it's taller than the block wall by 2 feet now. It's crazy. This guy right here is a Garden Prince almond with blossoms on it. That one's, it only has about 5 or so flowers on it, so it's in full bloom as far as it's going to get this year. You notice that there's a lot of green leaves on that. That's from last year. It never went fully dormant. I stripped some of them off, the rest wouldn't come. Oro Blanco grapefruit. This thing was looking ravished when I planted it. Yeah, struggling tree, but it's coming back pretty well. Behind that, it's getting hard to see now because it's green on green background, but behind that is a strawberry guava. Eureka lemon. And a lot of people are like, oh no, why do my lemon leaves why do my citrus have yellow leaves on it this time of year? Look, this thing's got tons of yellow leaves on it. It's also blooming happily. It's hard to see in there, but that middle one there, there's fruit on that. It's setting fruit happily. It's also growing happily. There's nothing wrong with this tree. This is normal for citrus this time of year. It's burning off nutrition from the old leaves while it sets out its spring growth. This is totally normal on citrus. Super duper happy trees may not do this. But if yours are doing this, do not panic. This is normal. This guy here is a Washington Navel Orange, one of my 2. That's a liner from Lowe's that I planted in August. This big guy right here is a white tropical guava. And you know what, I'm going to do this last 2 trees right here on my left side real quick, but we're running out of light, so I'm just going to cut this video short right here. We'll get back to the rest of this later. But it's getting too dark in that side of the yard. Over there is just, yeah, we won't see anything by the time I get there. So, this last one right here, this guy, this guy. Hey, welcome to the party. This is my second elephant heart plum. So I said I had 2 of these. There's one out front, there's one right here. This one's covered in bloom. Well, not covered, but I don't know. It's going to have about 10 or so blossoms probably. And then I was looking over here. This is actually my first peach that's waking up. This is an Earl Grande peach. And I don't know that I'm going to get any focus in on it to be able to see the growth, but it's starting to leaf out. It's my first peach leafing out, so there's that. And I planted that elephant heart plum in August, I believe. September, August, something like that. And this thing I just planted about a month ago. And this tree, I got this one here. I get a lot of stuff from Lowe's, Home Depot, stuff like that. This thing I got from Costco. So, you know, wherever. I get trees from all over the place. I don't discriminate. No hate here. Nothing but love. Love nature. Alright, you guys have a good weekend.